Here. Kai's out here. Kai, how you
Yeah,
feeling?
I'm feeling good. Wait,
Well,
don't we do our intro video?
we are going to do an intro video if you would let me do an intro video. I'm just saying hi to you. It's just she's impatient. We just discussed that. We're gonna talk about your impatient things, among other things, once we get into this. You know what to do. Share this link, and we'll be right back. I'm still really happy with this with this intro. We're trying to do another one though. So if you know somebody who knows somebody who makes beats, we need a beat for the intro. But make sure you check out that Venmo. We always need support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you as always. We in this thing. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Halloween. We didn't even say happy Halloween the last time we were here. Everything. Happy everything. Thank you for being here. How are you, Kai?
I'm good. I actually missed us. I missed us the past 2 weeks. Last week's was Thanksgiving, so we had a moment to share with our families. Shout out to our families.
Shout them out. Your people were here,
the
right?
Pitts.
Right.
The Martinez's.
Right. I was in Texas, so we went out to Texas with the entire family. So I had all of my children. I have children. Like,
wow.
It's funny to say that. So I had the entire family, right? The entire tribe, and we went out to Texas and hung out. It was a very calm Thanksgiving. Like, it wasn't any kind of madness. The food was ready on time. There wasn't any kind of scramble. We ate. Like, it was peaceful. There was no fighting. It was very easy. Nice. So how about you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Ours was good. My family came out here because I know if you've been following the show, you know that Encanto finally came out. We've been talking about this literally like all year.
Right. It's finally here.
It's finally here. And it was finally it came out on Wednesday, last Wednesday. So please check it out.
Come on, you know I got the questions. Did you cry?
Yes.
You cried in it?
I cried several times.
Did you cry because you were in it, or you cried because it was good?
Everything. I cried for everything. I cried, my parents. I got to watch it with my parents, my brother, and my youngest niece, who, I didn't even put my headphones on.
Right, yeah, you whack.
I'm like, I heard these bombs.
But you got the cute little hat situation on.
So. We can make it work.
Yeah,
we can make it work. So I saw it with all of them. So I felt all the feels. I was very proud, and I think more importantly, it was really nice to see other kids looking at themselves, looking at this poster with all these different faces and shades and body shapes, and seeing themselves and being proud. So it was such a beautiful moment of that. And then watching, I was actually joking with one of the animators about.
Look at you all big time. I was actually joking with one of the animators and the director, and we were all hanging out and doing coke. That's next.
Coke. We were talking about how we watch like our families, like we were like, oh, this is the part where they're supposed to cry.
Right.
Did you cry? Okay, they cried. Right. It's like the mission accomplished.
Right, we did it.
We did it. And even the punchlines, it's funny. He said something that was like, yeah, it's like writing a joke and waiting 2 years for the joke to hit.
To hit, right? And you've heard it like 3,000 times. It's not even funny to you anymore.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, and then you realize people are watching this for the first time.
Right.
So last night I got to watch it again with a group of friends, and they had rented out the theater, and so it was just a group of people there, and hearing everyone laugh at all these cool parts, and yeah, it was great.
Do you, like, when you watch it and you obviously know that you did the choreography, like, are you kind of doing the moves as they're like doing
it's hard not to. It's hard not to like I do this weird thing where even when I watched it with Jamal, I went to the premiere and I watched it with Jamal Sims, who's the choreographer. I assisted, and we're both sitting next to each other, and we're both like, yeah, remember that part? And we're like doing the movements. And we're like, yeah, this part. So it's hard to not. I think I'm gonna have to watch it a couple more times for me to stop looking at it from a creative standpoint and just be able to enjoy.
It never really happens. I'll tell you that as a creative. Like, I still watch everything I create. Like, I'm watching the cuts, I'm watching the sound, I'm watching when the music comes on. Like, I'm watching all of the creative things that someone may not even notice Like I'm hearing in the back, like I added the wind, and then I added in some rain, and then I did a little drop. Nobody hears it, but I'm always gonna be hearing that.
Yeah,
So
I'm like, oh yes, they did this part so well. I
right,
was like, they. I remember this part we animated, and all these memories of rehearsal
right,
and
of where it was before.
right, like, oh man, if they would have seen it, like, I'm glad they fixed this part and all this, and oh, this is really effective. So yeah, but I've been able to kind of back up a little bit more,
Right.
and again, shout out to all the filmmakers and animators and the whole village at Disney Animation that made this film. I had no idea
Mhm.
that it was so involved,
Right.
and it is, and so the movie is #1 in the world. It was #1 in the world this weekend,
More horns on that.
and it just won an award, the National Review Board,
Right.
for Best Animated Film. It's also nominated for another film right now, and you know what? I mean, it's crazy.
Right.
It's up for consideration for an Oscar. So
Listen,
let's see how
it's
far we
not
can take this joint.
right. It's not crazy to me because I've been saying, look, this is big time. So I've been excited for you the whole time. I'm just happy it's finally here, and
Right,
I'm
we can
glad you're
talk about
enjoying
it.
it.
You've
You're
been
loving
trying to
it.
talk about it forever.
Right. And so yeah, but I want to go see. I wanted to see it the day it came out, and we planned to go see it, and I can't remember what happened. I think it was right. My son needed a nap or something, and it kind of messed up the timing, and then we were
Yeah.
like, nah, and then we didn't
Right.
go.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna try to see it this week and
Do it.
shout it out. So
Bet.
we'll see. So I'm gonna put more horns on that.
Right.
But you said Jamel. Remember what's your guy's name with the Lego? So we have our
Oh, yes.
specially designed Legos. I just got mine today that I'm about to unbox.
Let's see.
Let me
we got
have that.
custom made. Hold
But
on, let me see. Where are comments?
Give us his info, and you pull up comments. We're just now about to look at chat, so if you said something, we're about to read it right now. But in here is my custom made Lego.
Yes, Jamel is actually watching right now.
Jamel is on here. Yeah, Jamel Mahia.
Jamel's Bricks at Jamel's Bricks.
Yes,
is
give him the
his,
info. What's his Instagram?
Go on me for a second while you open it.
I don't want to go on you.
Show
I'm unboxing. See, look, she always want.
Wait,
Yeah,
don't
go
unbox
ahead.
it yet.
Okay.
I just want to say.
Well, let me get it ready.
So I'll show my Lego.
Is it close enough? You may have to get close. I think I can see it.
Can we see it?
Put it closer. Extend. Blur.
It's blurred.
Let's get an autofocus. Yeah, we'll have to post it.
Okay. We'll post
I'll get closer to the camera in a second, and I'll show yours.
I'm over here trying.
No, I don't think it's gonna work.
Okay.
Anyway,
well,
I'm unboxing.
I have my Lego. Oops. And it's a custom made Lego.
Right.
And the Instagram is at Jamel's Bricks. And it's a great present for Christmas and for the kids and for your, I love it. I think this is the coolest thing.
Right. And he basically will customize your Lego to look just like you, or however you want to. You can tell him how you want it to look.
Yeah, he does.
I told him surprise me.
Right. Let's see what yours looks like. Is it on you?
Yes. Will you leave me alone and let me do the damn cameras? You just
I feel
worried
like those
about
kids that want to help their siblings
too
unwrap
much
the present.
Right.
Like, come on.
We've discussed this several times. She got that
up.
little sister energy.
I do.
This little sister energy all the time. All right, Jamel, let's get this in. This better not be racist. I better not be like 2 shades blacker than I am. And let's see. Oh, so far. Oh, look at the beard. Look at the beard.
Oh my God.
Beard game. Wait.
Look
is
at
that an open chest? Do I have an open chest? No, it's a red shirt. I thought I had open chest. All right, Kai.
Okay, let me see.
Let me actually let me do it. I'm gonna go to you because I can probably look at the camera and I want to show you guys my Lego. All right?
Take my Lego.
I am taking yours. Leave me alone.
Jamel, you're in.
Tell us more about Jamel.
Jamel's in the check-in. Well, Jamel actually, he was also in the Air Force, and I reached out to him. We want to have him on the show. We definitely want to have him on the show, so that we can get to know more about him.
I actually should have set up a camera to do this.
Oh, is it in there?
Here we go.
Come on.
All right, at the end of the show, I'm gonna sit him here. At the end of the show, I'm gonna focus.
We'll go. Wait, I want to see it.
Wait, let me do this.
Okay.
Click to my camera.
Okay, hold on.
We're doing all this for you, Jamel.
We're doing all this for you. Bam.
There are our little Legos right there. And I love it. I am an action figure
I love the hair. Come on, accuracy.
Right. My hair, that's like a baby. That's like a Caesar. I don't have a Caesar, but hey,
No, it's
I'll
not.
take it.
It's a little fade. He got a
I'll
little.
let-
It's a little curly top. It's a little
Right.
blowout.
So yeah, we're gonna give y'all close ups to those. Tell them that. I don't know if they can hear me right.
Yes, we're gonna give y'all the. There it is. They can see it on the screen.
Okay, I did, but I'm saying later.
Okay, later we'll give y'all some more.
All right, go to the next one. What we got
Well, we have a new coronavirus variant.
next?
It's not funny.
Yeah,
Speaking
you're
of
right.
speaking of coronavirus, I actually had COVID 2 weeks ago. That's why we couldn't. That's why we didn't end up having a show.
Shout out, but she did the
Shout out
right
to COVID.
thing,
I did the
and
right
she
thing.
she let us know, and we actually took all the right precautions, and
Yes.
yeah, and it didn't go any further.
It went well.
Right.
It went well. It was where's everybody in the comments? It went well, and I'm grateful. I actually got it the week I got the second dose of the vaccine. So wait, is it still on you? Or is it on me? It is on me. So yeah, I got it the second week I got the second dose of the week I got the second dose of the vaccine. So it was interesting because I was having symptoms from the vaccine, unbeknownst to me, also having COVID. But then I found out I had COVID later, and honestly, I had it for 2 days. I mean, I had it for a while, but symptoms for 2 days. It was scary. I didn't know how bad it was gonna get. I know.
We're booing you.
They're
Sorry.
booing me. But we got past it, and here we are.
Right.
So now there's a new variant called
The Maricon. The Maricon. But listen, these memes with this Omarion thing are hilarious.
Wait, do you
So
have pull it up? Pull
let
it
me pull
up.
it out. Let me pull it.
Yeah,
I
so they're
gotta get
calling
them.
it the Omarion variant, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm laughing. I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
Because you're thinking about these.
I'm
these
laughing
memes.
because I'm thinking about the memes, but I'm also laughing because I worked with Omarion's been getting some flack this year, and he's been getting kind of picked on. And Omarion was. Oh,
Go ahead.
are we showing it?
Well, that was one of them. Yeah. So there's a series of them. The Omarion variant attacked my white blood cells.
Let me schedule this booster shot because Omarion got me effed up.
Right. Are you doing a booster?
So right now
I don't know.
Omicron. If your chick come close to me, she gonna have to stay at home and isolate. Wash your hands, sanitize your ass.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. So, those
Yeah.
are crazy, but they're hilarious though.
Yeah.
But I did read that there it was the first case in the U.S. not too long ago. So we can make jokes about Marion, but be careful. I don't know. But what I just asked you, are you doing the booster? What do you guys? Let's see in the comments. Are you doing the
Jesus.
boosters? If they make us do the boosters,
I just
Are you
did
gonna
the
do it?
vaccine.
Right. I just don't want to. I don't
Did you
want
do a
to.
booster yet?
No, I don't think I'm not gonna comply. I don't think for the booster. Like I don't know. I don't want to be in a constant state of having to
we
keep
say
getting
that,
boosters.
and then like 3 months from now, I'll be like, you know what? I got it.
Right. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, I still believe in it's your choice. But I just don't want to be in this thing where like it's like the vaccine was going to save everything, and now it's like, all right, well, you got to keep coming back to keep getting these boosters. So
Right.
I don't know. Do what you do. I think I think know your rights, know your constitutional rights, and make a smart decision for you and your family.
Know
So
your role.
In other news, Quis Cuomo is another big thing that's in the news. And I I don't know how I feel about it in a sense, right? So if you don't know the story, basically he was suspended indefinitely while they kind of investigate, but apparently he was helping his brother try to figure out a few things about his rape allegations, or was it sexual assault allegations?
Mhm.
And I when I read some of the text that he shared, and it's nothing criminal. I like I said, I don't know what type of contracts they have and what kind of ethical things that they have or what you can and can't do. But if it was your brother or your sister, you would do the same thing. I think I won't go through the whole story, but basically they found a few text messages and someone asked, "Can you check your sources?" And he was like, "I'm on it." And I mean, I don't know if that's wrong. I mean, he's a reporter. He has, he has sources. So if you had that resource, why would you not want to ask your brother? And I don't think that's anything wrong, so to speak. And basically, he was just trying to help his brother figure it out. Now, I don't know how deep he went, and I don't know how guilty his brother is. But if
Right.
it's your sibling and you have information that you can share with him to maybe help his situation, I don't see that being crazy out of line. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it gets touchy. It gets touchy
Right.
when it's family. You
But-
know, have this idea of nepotism, and you have this.
But how would
idea.
that hurt as a CNN reporter? What does that hurt if he helps his brother?
Well, I think it's CNN trying to cover themselves
Right.
because there's so many other things that happen that they let just slide.
Mm.
But I think because it's sexual assault or and the governor, I believe he's the governor of New York, right?
Right.
Andrew Cuomo.
Well, he resigned now.
No, he resigned,
because
but
he's probably a sexual pig.
right.
But I won't put it back. Like,
And they don't want to. They just don't want to be there. They just don't want to be associated with that.
Right.
So it's
I just
easier.
I don't know. And if I always feel like if someone has more than 5 sexual assault charges, like they're probably a piggy.
He has more than 5.
I think it's like 11 or something like that. So it's like you doing something wrong.
Dang.
Like I don't know, but either way, that's not the point of what I want to discuss because I don't know much about him or his pedigree or what he is. I just know, Chris was trying to help him. A few things. I think I had another text. He said he sent this to Melissa Della Rose, whatever her name is. I think I said that right. He says, "I have a lead on the wedding girl," referring to the woman who accused his brother at a wedding reception, and that's basically, I guess he had some dirt on her or he had some information. Apparently that was wrong for him to do. And then like the one I just said a minute ago, he said, I think the same woman asked him, can you check your sources? And he said, I'm on it. So it's little things like that. I don't think he actually even gave them anything or did anything, but the fact that he was open to it is why he got suspended. So
yeah, he'll be back.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back.
He'll be back.
But then he was on some radio show saying like he didn't like his job anymore and like just being I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll keep updated on Mr.
Right.
on Mr. Chris Cuomo.
Right. And before we get into the main topic,
yes,
I have one quick question because we missed a few things while we're gone. But are we still upset about rappers dying? Like, is that a thing? Like, are we still caring? Like,
human beings.
They are human beings, but it's like
they are human beings,
right? But it's like if you were making decisions that aren't the best, I can't I don't know. Like I say, if you were drinking and driving, and I was like, you shouldn't drink and drive, and you keep drinking and driving, like you shouldn't drink and drive. At some point, I have to say, like, all right, it is gonna be what it's gonna be. And I can't really feel sad for you because that's your choice. And I feel like these rappers, here's the perspective that I think about. Because after this, it was a lot of haters like Boosie saying, like, when in your city, you have a lot of haters and jealousy. And I'm like, in all of these rappers' songs, they're talking about some imaginary dude whose girl they screwed and whose friend they shot. And I'm like, you are agitating people because I'm sure you have slept with somebody's girl. I'm sure you have, been flossing with your money and treated a dude like shit. And it's not that they jealous. It's like they're like you're basically kind of shitting on them. Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? You kind of like up on your high horse with your money and you flossing and you showing things and you're like, y'all ain't got this and y'all can't do this. And it makes people jealous. Like,
yeah,
you're kind of antagonizing people. And if you out here talking street life, then you got to be on your P's and Q's. And so I'm just like, don't be slipping. I can't like, I don't know. If I have hood friends, you got to assume they're going to die. I don't really want to be sad about that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I wrong in thinking that?
I mean, that's one perspective. I think definitely I get sad when anyone or anything passes away.
No.
So, but yeah, because it's a life, especially when it's a young life. And there was so much promise, and it didn't have to be that way.
Well, then you should make certain decisions,
right? But it goes back to what are we teaching our kids, and it's deeper than that. So for me, it is sad when anyone passes, but again, a rapper, a creative, because it also means this person may have come from a certain lifestyle, but they were doing something different. Like they were artists. They're artists at the end of the day. I believe rappers, musicians, singers, they're artists, and they're expressing a lifestyle either that they live or that they want to live or that they thought about living, whatever. And the fact that anyone would, go as far as to kill someone of that of an artist, it's to me as a fellow artist, it's sad.
Yeah, but you don't know what they saying in these streets. You don't know what they doing out here. Like,
Well,
so all I'm saying, I'll put it like this, because you're right. It's a life, and I'm not trying to say screw him, he's dead. I'm just saying, I'm just
Screw 'em is
saying,
dead.
right. I'm just saying, if you don't understand at this point that gang life or street life is dangerous, then I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, if you out there and you claiming to be so tough and so hard and you got shooters and people, then you know what it's like.
Right.
So if you get caught up in that game, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not saying it's not tragic.
Right.
I'm just saying I don't have any emotion towards it because it is what it is. You're in the streets.
I feel that.
Right. And I guess that's all I'm saying.
Those
So
are JD's 2 cents, yeah. The
right.
opinion person, whoever said that to you,
Right. Get out
tell
there.
them come see me.
What we got in the comments before we jump into this thing. And while we kind of check comments, did you guys see the best shape of my life? Who's seen it? What did you think? Tell us what you think. What did you feel about it? How did it make you feel? Do you still like Will Smith? Do you hate him? What is it? What are you feeling? I had you on here like just texting the whole time.
Who, me?
I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh no, I was, because I was looking at the comments. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, she's going to the comments. But I really enjoyed it.
And it said taco meat. I think that was referring to your chest hair.
Is it where? I got taco meat out?
No, when your Lego.
Oh, is that no? Wait, let me
And she
look
also said we are doing it, meaning I guess y'all are getting the booster.
No, we not. Look, she the only reason I got it the first time.
Cash Manager said, "What up?
What up, Cash?" But yeah, the first one, she was taking, her son, who's my son, but I couldn't fight, so I was like, "Hey, look, do what you're gonna do with you and your son." And because they were going, I was like, "I don't know, screw it, I'll go." So we'll see. Maybe she'll talk me into it, but I'm not gonna be in line every other month trying to do a damn booster. Like, I'm not complying. This is getting ridiculous. Anyway, what do you got on comments? That was all the comments?
That was all the comments.
All right. So what did you think of the show? What did you think of In the Best Shape of My Life?
I really, hold on, I'm just gonna put this right here. I liked it.
Right.
I liked it. I think it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be.
What did you think it was gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be Will Smith being the always amazing overcomer that he is.
You didn't kind of see it coming though, like building, like it. I felt they even started the intro like it wasn't gonna go right.
Yeah, no, I mean, before I even saw the first episode,
gotcha.
Walking into it, I thought, okay, cool. It's gonna be inspiring to watch him get his life together.
Yeah.
Physically, because he's known for doing that, and I've been inspired my whole life by him because of that. I used to watch his interviews and like, in fear, and you gotta walk in you because he's
great at that. He's great at overcoming and getting through.
Yeah,
trouble.
and it was like, okay, yes, and I've also adopted that same mentality in a lot of things in my life. Like, no, I just have to show up and work hard, and no matter what happens, I'm not gonna give up. And I, even as a dancer, I would always say, I may not be the best dancer. I may not be the dancer that everyone loves, but I'm gonna be the hardest working person in that room. No matter what room I'm in, I'm always gonna be the hardest working person. So I got that a lot from him. So to see this whole side of him, it's
stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah, we should get a soundbite.
Right.
It felt very relatable, because I've also experienced that too. And I have felt like a failure when I have experienced like moments of like, nah, I don't want to do this, or I'm done, or I need a break.
Right.
So it's nice to see other people. And I also have another comment about celebrity.
It's nice to see other people struggling. Like, it makes you feel better.
Being real. Which I actually read an article, and I'll talk about that after you say your thing.
Okay. That's my cue. All right. So I'm on. No, I liked it, but I don't feel like I took away anything new from it as far as entertainment. But I did see another side of Will that I thought was interesting. But I thought it was good in the sense of how real it was, but I couldn't tell if it was made to look like that or if that was his real emotions. And I'm hoping it's his real emotions, because it could have. He's an actor, like he could have just made it look like that to just. I don't know. Who knows?
Right, could all be
That's just me being skeptical. I don't trust you. But I really enjoyed it, and I I think what I took away from it, I'm just gonna go ahead
Yeah, yeah.
and go into what I took away from it. Is letting it be what it is. Um, I have this struggle of trying to get the greatness out of my head. So if I try to write it down, it moves too fast. I can't catch it. If I try to do it in the camera, I get caught up in trying to look cute and trying to like I don't look right, don't feel right, and I can't do it. And I feel like in this, he just allowed it to be what it was going to be, in the sense of, it started off to be this triumphant, I'm Will and I'm going to succeed thing, and then it turned into a whole different thing.
Right.
And I think that's beautiful, and it actually inspired me to just kind of sit down and get in front of my camera and try to get some of the things out of my head. And if it doesn't come, because I wanted to come out like JD's memoirs saves the world, and what he said was amazing, and he's the most insightful person ever. Like that's what I
Mm-hmm.
want, but maybe that's not what it's going to be.
Right.
And I need to not try to make it be that, and just do it and let it be what it's going to be.
Right.
So that's what I took away from it. So
Yeah, I took away that it's first of all that I can also relate to this idea of he said something in the documentary that was like, he's being a performer has like saved his life.
right.
And he uses it as a coping mechanism to not feel pain or to not get hurt.
Mhm.
And that cannot be taken away from him. Like he's always going to be that first. And I think I relate to that because I too feel like being a performer has also, not to be so dramatic, but like it has saved my life in a sense of like it has
Gave you
given me
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah.
And it's what I do. It's what I do to avoid feeling pain or to avoid allowing people to hurt me. It's making people laugh and always having something witty to say
Mhm.
is a way in which I also cope with just being I guess just avoiding being vulnerable, right?
Right.
So I took that away that I was like, oh, I think I do that too. And I'm not so mad at that because it could be other things. It could be
Right.
drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be whatever. But it's like, man, if my coping mechanism is something creative that can inspire the world, then I'm cool with that.
Right.
But also number two, that it's okay to say no. And so
Mhm.
boundaries are so important.
Right.
It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to say you bit off more than you could chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay to like feel your feels and even recently, like we were talking about this, I've been feeling things and I'm like, well, why am I feeling this? And sometimes you just feel things and you can't quite pinpoint it. And
Right. There's nothing you can do about
and
it.
is and
It
you're
is
just
what it
in a
is.
funk. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I just have to acknowledge that, you know what, today I'm in a funk and I'm not gonna sit in it. I'm gonna keep doing what I have to do, but I might just be moving a little like whack today, So, but yeah, it was inspiring. I will say what I was gonna say about the article. So I read this article that said that something admirable about Will Smith is that he's been able to reinvent himself. He's about like 52 now, and
Well, not really. I mean, he's just been the same guy.
no,
I
but
mean,
you know what it is because they compared him
Mhm.
to other actors
Mhm.
from his generation, like Brad Pitt, like George Clooney. And what they've said that's unique about Will Smith is that he has been able to come back around in an age where he came up in an age of celebrity where celebrities were perfect. You didn't know anything about them. You just knew what the facade that they wanted you to see.
right. Hollywood.
Right? They were super polished, super perfect. Like we knew Will and Jada to be this couple and all the things. But now we are in a new era where that doesn't work anymore. Now we're in an era of Cardi B. We're in an era of Kim Kardashian. We're in an era of people being relatable and real and open and vulnerable.
Right.
And that makes you a celebrity.
Right.
So
He did actually make. I am impressed with his switch to social media. I remember when he started social media and reinvented himself. So I guess there you go.
And I
So,
think he said something actually that was impressive to him about seeing The Rock and Kevin Hart post behind the scenes pictures of the movie set.
right.
And saying how in his time that was
That
unheard
wouldn't
of.
happen, yeah.
So I think kudos to him for reinventing himself and also opening himself up to being vulnerable. And which leads to another question. Do you think him and Jada are being a little too open
Too
now?
much?
Because one last thing that the article said was that he probably got inspired to be vulnerable because of Jada and the Red Table Talk. And she was actually able to reinvent herself, and she's probably
Right.
more popular now than she's ever been because of what she's been able to do with her
Yeah.
talk show.
Shout out my ex-girlfriend, Jada Pinkett. I still love you, boo. So,
In his dreams.
I definitely don't think they're oversharing. I just think we just got to stop thinking that everybody, like, if you don't know by now that celebrities, rich people, whatever they are, have issues just like you do, then I think you are possibly delusional at this point. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has issues. Like, there's no perfect relationship. However, we were talking before about, are they still relationship goals? And I think that they are, because they're still together, they're still working it out, they still have great kids, they still have careers, they're still doing it.
Right.
But just because they're not perfect, it doesn't mean there's not goals. Like, your relationship goals should not be no issues. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have issues. Your goals are having someone that you can talk through it with, like someone who's actually doing the things that you're doing, so you both respect each other and you both continue to move forward. If one person doesn't want to grow, you want to grow, it's going to have problems. If one person
Right.
doesn't want to change, or like doesn't want to talk it out, you're not going to grow. And so you want somebody who will at least give you the things that you're giving them, and you can both appreciate each other and grow. And
Right.
if that's not happening, then you're definitely it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right. And those are your goals. That doesn't mean perfect. Doesn't mean you don't argue. It just doesn't mean you're not going to look at her and be like, I want to stab you in the neck with a spoon today. I just don't like your ass. But then you're like, but I love you. Right.
Right.
So anyway, but the question I have for you is what's wrong with, I mean, I guess we all have coping mechanisms, but
Mhm.
why is it wrong to just not be who you are? Like, do you feel like when you say like your entertainment is kind of a coping mechanism, or it saves you, or it helps you not have to be vulnerable? What's wrong with being vulnerable? You think you do that because of what people think, or do you do that because you're embarrassed, you don't understand it? What do you think you do? What do you think you cover up when you
I
go to
think
your person?
right. I think it's in I'll go back to the Will Smith. I think they articulated it well when they said they create the narrative and portray a narrative that only that they show you what they want you to see, and they
Mhm.
control the narrative. And I think controlling the narrative is very important. And I think I'll say for me, it's important for me. I want to show up in the world a certain way,
Right.
but
It's important to you how people see you, basically.
no, not necessarily how they see me. I
Mhm.
just want to make sure I show up a certain way,
Right.
meaning I wanna like my goals, like my mission statement, I was like, I wanna empower people. I
Mhm.
want to make sure that they feel empowered, that they smile. Like, I care about whoever's around me. I care about them.
Mhm.
Even if I just met them. That's just I genuinely do. And so I wouldn't
Shout
want
out. We
anyone.
both love
But
you. We both love you on jump. You start
right.
taking away bricks when you start doing fuck shit.
Right.
Sorry,
So
mom.
I genuinely want people to feel just good,
Right.
whenever they think about me. But I
Right.
can't always control that. And
Right.
sometimes I'm not like today. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't in the best mood.
Right.
So when I'm not in the
She ain't
best
never in the best
mood,
mood when she come in. I gotta
I
be like, hey, come
know.
on, girl.
So
Hey.
whenever I'm in like a little funk,
Right.
I tend to like retreat and
Right.
not show up in the world because
Right.
I'm like, oh no, I don't want people to see me like this.
Right.
Um, but then it's like, no, it's
It
okay.
is what
People
it
can
is,
see you
right?
that way.
I think what I would, one of the things that like not bothered me, but I can understand the psychology of how his dad instilled in him pushing through, making it work, figure it out, which are a lot of things that I go through with my son. But there's also the emotional part of understanding that you have emotions and how to deal with those emotions.
Right.
And I was so baffled that how can you be 40 and still feel guilty for not helping your mom when there's nothing you could do? Like,
Right.
do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like there's a lot of people with those type of pains, right? Like,
Mhm.
and I can say I understand it, but I feel like it's as simple as just understanding. Like, I was a kid, I couldn't do anything. It's not like I could fight my dad.
Right.
Like, how would you feel? How could you feel like a coward? Like, do you feel like you have anything that you harbor, like that you feel guilt from? Like, and I relate this to even like, say, people who have been molested. Like, a lot of people feel guilt,
Yeah.
like it's their fault, and it's like, how could you feel guilty for someone like being like
Yeah. I think
what's the
it's
word,
the
attacking you? Like,
yeah. I think it's the sometimes you're not even aware because it's funny. There was something recently that I thought about, and I thought back to like my childhood, and I was like, whoa, is that something that came from there?
Mm,
Like, oh, okay, this is what I thought about. So I thought about I think I wasn't feeling. I think when I had COVID, something like that. When I was sick, and then I had like this flashback of when I was a kid, and when I was a kid, it was like I remember having to go to school even if I was sick,
right.
even if I felt bad, and then I would have to go to school and then call my parents if I was sick,
Right.
right? And I remember from there feeling like I had to like you have
Prove.
to take it. Like you have to
Right. Yeah.
you have to deal with it. Like you have this
Yeah.
mentality, oh, I have to deal with whatever comes my way.
Right.
And it's
Strength.
not
That's
right.
a strength.
But it's also like, well, I don't have to always take on everything.
Right.
And I think but I got that from that's just one example. And
Yeah.
it's nothing that my parents did wrong or
Right.
anything.
It is what it is,
It is what it
and
is.
that's what I mean.
But
Like,
then it's like now I didn't even realize that that's something I was
yeah.
carrying with me until recently that I was like, oh yeah, I did kind of always have to just push through it.
Right.
Like, you know?
And I think that's a part of learning yourself, and I think that's healthy. But
Mm.
I guess the question is, how do you still feel guilty for things like that? And how do you not? I guess is when if you're emotionally in it, it's hard to step out and put your adult brain to it. But I've had to do that a few times,
But I
and
think that's why going to therapy is
right, it
important.
helps.
I think him making that because I think when on the documentary it was the first time he ever spoke to his mom about it.
Right, he did, yeah.
So I think having those realizations in his life and having those realizations that he's always people pleasing and
Right.
things like that, and he's been doing it for many years and all that. And I'm not saying it's a new realization, but he's allowing the public to in on that realization
Right,
and him not being his most perfect self
right.
in an age in a time where it's okay
Mm,
to not be your perfect self.
right. I love those moments. I love it when I can connect something from my childhood. Like I would always say, why did I have to tell people all the time when I went to the restroom? It's because my mom trained me to.
Mhm.
Like I always had to say when I'm going to the bathroom. Like if I didn't, I would get in trouble.
Do you do that
So
now?
I still do. Like I still tell people every time I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Like I have to tell people, and but I think those things are a part of learning who you are, learning why you do the things you do. But I guess the question is still, how do you still feel guilty about it? Like
Right. Well, what are some
I don't
coping
think I
mechanisms you have?
well, I just because you just have to understand it is what it is. Like I I have a lot of traumas in my life, but I
Mhm.
don't think anyone really did anything to me intentionally to make me have to harbor any type of guilt or any type of anger or any type of pain. Like it is what it is. Like my sisters, wouldn't like cook me food when I was hungry, right?
Mhm.
And I would sit on the floor and yell, "I'm hungry, I'm hungry!" Like, and they just thought I was being a brat, but I was literally hungry. I didn't
Mhm.
know how to cook for myself. My mom wouldn't let me cook for myself. My sisters, would have to take care of me. That was more pressure on them. But I was literally hungry.
Right.
And like, but they were kids. They were kids too. Like
Yeah.
they don't know. Like, they were trying to do the best they could. Like, you know what I mean? And it
Mhm.
is what it is in the sense of like understanding that everyone has somewhat of a position, and I don't harbor any hard feelings from it. I don't harbor any kind of pain or anything, but I feel like a lot of people do. I feel like the world,
Well,
I
do you feel
most
like
people
you
do.
have do you feel like you have a coping mechanism?
No, just besides just understanding that it's not always about you. And
Mhm.
it's not always an intentional attack on you. Other people have feelings, other people have situations, and
So when you're hurt,
sometimes it just works out.
when something hurts your feelings, what do you do?
I try to think about where's my accountability in it. What did I do? And where is their accountability? And I usually leave it at, you don't owe me anything. You could honestly say what you want. You could feel how you want to feel. I don't have a right to feel any kind of way about it. But if
Mm.
it hurts my feelings, then I can't be your friend. I can't be around you.
Right.
It just is what it is. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be mad, like, oh, this motherfucker said, like,
Mhm.
hey, feel how you feel. Sorry. If I'll even look at it and see maybe he's right. Sometimes I still reflect, like, do I always think I'm right? Because I know that's an Aries thing too. And
Mhm.
it's like I think I'm just right, but no, but
Right.
you know what I mean. But I have to reflect on it, like seriously, like is this real or is this? Because I can maybe understand how you could perceive it different, and maybe it comes off that way.
Right.
And I don't know. I just it is what it is, and not you can't control everything. Like I can't control how you feel. I can't control how people react to me. I can only control how I grow from it, how I perceive it, the next time, and that's all I can do. And so I guess that's my only coping mechanism, is just it is what it is. And I think I saw a meme recently. It was like, if you know somebody that says it is what it is, then that means then you really have, like, you could leave their life and they're gonna be good because it is what it is, right? I
Right.
can't change it. I can't do anything about it. So that was one of the things that just baffled me, is how could he be so intelligent as far as mental strength and still not be able to tell himself it's not your fault,
Right.
right? It's not. What were you gonna do? Like, how could you call yourself a coward? Like, seeing that, I know it could be pain, but I think
Right.
it came from, his dad kind of always making him have to just push forward. And if you don't go do it, or if you're not a soldier,
You're
then
a
you're wrong.
failure.
You're a failure, right? And I think that mentality just worked in the wrong way. So I can kind of understand it. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many people in pain, right? Don't you feel like there's so many people harboring things and just? Am I wrong? I don't know. Is it me?
Yeah. Well, I think it's I think it's not necessarily harboring pain. I think it's feeling pain at an early age
Right.
and then not wanting to feel that again.
Right.
Because I think for me, I don't necessarily think I'm carrying any pain around. I think I've experienced, like, my grandmother, who's very close to me, passed away when I was young, and that made me like really detached emotionally from people, period. So it took me a long time to start opening up to people again, but it wasn't because I was harboring pain. It was because I felt what that is. Like, I got burned once.
Right.
I'm not gonna get burned again, and
Right.
that's why, even like, for example, people in relationships, you've gotten cheated on, and now you're not trying to get into another relationship.
Right.
You're reluctant, and I think it's not necessarily because you're holding on to the pain, but because you don't want to feel that again.
But again, wouldn't you think you can't control that, like, and realize that?
Oh, you can. That's why you don't get into it again.
Right, but that's what I mean.
Like,
but that's
you don't go
also
back to the
hurting
stove.
yourself, though. That's also like, don't you?
I
you would
understand, but I'm
want-
saying that's the coping mechanism, because you don't go back to the stove after you've been burned.
Right.
Or if you do, you try to look at it differently. You try to approach it differently.
Right. So I guess, I mean, I totally get that, but I guess I'm just saying, can't you see that? Like, don't you see that you're doing that?
Not
it's a coping
necessarily.
that's
Not if you're
curious.
unaware,
Right.
because I'm sure we may not be that, but we know people who, like, it's like children. Like, children get aggravated and they start screaming, and it's because they're hungry or they're sleepy. When kids are sleepy, they cry.
Right.
And you're just like, why are you crying? It's like, oh, because they're sleepy. Why are you cranky? Because they're sleepy. A lot of adults are like that too. Like, I was thinking about that earlier.
So
Even just like,
it's so funny to think about, like, an adult doing that, because I try to describe, when I was describing to my son about why my son is crying, my other son, and I was like, because he's crying, I was like, do you know how you feel when you're sleepy and you're kind of trying to stay awake in class? Imagine not having any idea what's happening.
Right.
Right. You don't, like, what? Oh my God, what? Like, and you don't even know what sleep is. You don't know what dying is. You don't know what you're confused.
Right.
And I was like, and as a kid, that's why they're crying, because they're like, what is happening?
What is
I want to
happening?
keep playing, but my body won't let me.
Right. Keep playing.
It's so funny. Like,
Yeah.
so anyway,
So a lot of it's like that too.
I think of an adult doing that. Like,
Right.
ah.
It was like, for example, you think about a relationship, right?
Right.
And I'll speak on my experiences. It's like, sometimes I, like, when I wasn't fully.
You got a lot of experience. No, I'm kidding.
That's good. When
Shout out to Kai's experiences out here.
Shout out to JD's. Shout out to our relationship dynamic. So no, what I was gonna say is that sometimes, and whoever can relate, where it's like, yo, you feel like, oh, I want to talk to my partner and I can't, and then you get aggravated, and then you have an attitude with them when they call you, when you should be happy that you're talking to them.
Listen, fellas, just stop listening. This is some girl stuff. Like, we don't.
But in reality, maybe it's not. It has nothing to do with your partner. Maybe it's about.
What is that? Did you feel that?
Oh, that was my foot.
It just feels like a big vibration. I'm like, is it an earthquake right now? All right, go.
But it's not that. Maybe it's just that you're unhappy with your work situation, or you're unhappy with your life right now, or you wish you could change your situation.
Maybe it is what you're saying it is, but do you have a right to be mad? I think is that, like, because you may be definitely feeling what you're feeling, but it's the point of, like, I understand that's what I'm feeling, so let me not be a brat
But
about
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Some people don't understand what they're
Yeah.
feeling. They just
Right.
know. They just know. I don't feel happy.
Right.
So when we're in relationships, it's easier to project that onto your partner. And then when you're not in a relationship, it's easy to just project it among the first person that you see.
Right.
You know,
I try to do as little projecting as possible, like because
it's
only
hard sometimes.
I feel guilty. Like I literally
Right.
feel guilty. Like if I'm even,
Like when you're stressed out with your work.
right. No, in my
And
relationship. Let's talk about relationship. Like
okay. No,
without
I'm saying
going into
even
detail.
no, I'm
But
saying even with your work, if you're stressed out and say somebody in your family walks in the room at the precise moment where you're frustrated
Mhm.
and they yell something, even if it's your son, you're gonna be like, ah, and that's projecting. It's like,
I mean, I'm so patient. I don't know. I'm just like, hey, listen,
Anna,
now's not the time.
Anna knows.
No, she really I'm actually really patient. I'm not trying to say I'm the perfect person,
Mhm.
but I try to first of all not lash out at people unless I feel like I need to. Right?
Right.
I'm like I'll rather try to take it myself, and that could be one of my coping mechanisms. Like
Mhm.
I'm too
We found
pleasing,
one, guys.
right?
We found
I'm
one.
too pleasing, right? I would rather see the good in you and think I did something wrong,
Right.
right? And that's sometimes that gets heavy on my shoulders.
Mhm.
So, but in say in my relationship, like if I feel like blatantly she did something to me,
Mhm.
I'm still gonna think before I say anything, what did I do? Did I say something wrong? Could I have said something wrong? Could I have, did I, was she like, I'll try to make sure I can strike off as many things that I could have done before I even bring it to her.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's good. Sometimes I end up, just tearing myself down.
Right.
But I do think I first try to cancel out all of my accountability, which would be my advice to anybody. First, cancel out all of your accountability. And if
Mhm.
you still feel like this person wronged you or did something to you, then bring it to them and talk to them about it.
Right.
But
That's
I
a
would
good
try not to
approach.
be angry, like, because sometimes it is what it is,
Mhm.
right? The best phrase ever. Like they may have been thinking something else, they may have perceived something else, said something, and now it blew you up, and now like you're in a fight. So the
Right.
first thing to do is to talk about it. And if you intentionally tried to do this, all right, we're gonna have a problem. But I'm big on intentions. So
Right. Me too.
if you did this by accident and you acknowledge it, then hey, let's keep moving. All
Let's
right,
keep
no
moving.
problem. Put that on the rug. If you do it again, it's like, hey, now let's, this
Right.
this is two, right? And then
Right.
third time it's like, all right, what's the problem?
Right.
Right. And at that point, I have to start thinking about, should I remove myself? Is this working?
Yeah.
What can we do? Because if we can't come to some type of agreement, then we're both just gonna fucking drive each other crazy.
That's a fact.
So I again, like we all have shit. I have my own shit, but I think I usually take on people's stuff too much.
Mhm.
Like, and I need to be more protecting of myself. Sometimes I don't know. I don't like. I need therapy. So like,
Right.
I need to talk this out.
We all
I
need
don't know
therapy.
it all.
We
Right.
should get a bomb therapist to come in and talk to us and
Right.
like give us a free therapy session
I got a couple.
on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah,
We're gonna
that'll-
get all your guys' questions
Because
as well.
I think that's definitely a step that we wanted to take, and to definitely bring in professionals, because I think
Yeah.
we're very versed. We have great opinions, but we do want to bring in professionals so you guys have professional opinions.
Right.
But that's why we always say seek a professional. So
Right.
there's the
And-
thing that I've been on the last couple of weeks is it just depends on how you want to live your life, right? And I think if you're having an issue and it's against the way that you want to live your life, then you got to kind of figure that out. Maybe talk to somebody about it, or go see a professional, right? And that's the first line of defense.
Yeah, I think there's thankfully we're in a space now, we're in a time now where the stigma of getting treatment, getting therapy
Mhm.
is not so bad.
Mhm.
People are more into the idea, and people are getting it, and people are understanding themselves
Which
more.
I hate. I hate it because I'm trying to find a therapist now,
Mhm.
and they're so hard to find. Like it's like, and I feel like it's criminal. I'm like, listen, I call like 10 psychiatrists or therapists, whatever you want to call them,
Psychology.
right? I call like 10 of them. No one calls me back. Maybe one. And I'm like, that's like criminal. Like I'm really at a place where I'm reaching out for help. I'm trying to find help,
Well,
and
isn't
to
there
feel
like this?
like no one
There's
is
an
even
app.
hearing
There's
you.
an app called BetterHelp. Not that we're sponsored by them.
Right? No, drop that because I don't know that.
Oh yeah, there's an
I'm
app.
just calling based on my insurance.
There's an app called maybe check through your insurance, but there's an app called BetterHelp that I've heard of, that I have some friends that have used it. And yeah, I'm
Is it
actually
affordable?
it's supposed to be
'Cause I
affordable.
was like,
There's also
$3,000.
there's also a counseling place nearby in LA. I forgot what the name is, that goes based on your income and stuff like that. And it's pretty affordable as well.
Right.
And it's something that I've been considering for myself as well, because I've had therapy before, and just to like have it and have someone to talk to, have a friend. No,
Right. That has a real scientific opinion.
right.
There's a lot of great opinions, but like
But
sometimes,
but yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
cool because I think, and we were talking about this earlier. It's like I'm big on self-analyzation, and I watch videos, and then I really try to
Reflect.
I really try to reflect and look outside myself and look at myself and analyze. But sometimes it's just too much. It's just too much for me to be. I get confused. I get confused because I can see all sides of the conversation, and so it's hard for me.
Shout out that. I do that all the time.
Right. It gets hard for me to stand on my ground
Right.
because I'm like, dang, but I can see your side
I
too.
can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
And I could see my side,
Right.
but I could see why you would think that, and I could see why they would think
But
that.
I can also think why he thinks that too.
Right.
Like,
and
I
I'm
can see
like, yeah, I
everybody-
could see everybody's opinion. So
Right.
then it gets hard for me to be like, no, but I need to stand firm on this.
Right.
So I think for me, but then I'll still feel feels,
Right.
and I'll still, I'll still get emotional. I'll still think things and feel things. So I think for me, getting into some sort of therapy could be cool.
And I think, look, I think what Kai just said is the place that you want to be. I think it's easy for us all to feel crazy and feel like we need therapy. But at the end of the day, if someone that you love, someone you care about, if you can't say that, what you just said to them, and you guys talk about it or talk through it somehow, then I think it's not on you in a sense, right? Like, we're all going to have issues. And if the person that you're being friends with, if you're in a relationship with, if they're not seeing and trying to meet you halfway and trying to figure it out somehow or come to some type of conclusion,
right,
then I think we can't keep making ourselves feel crazy.
right.
Because all we could do is say it. All we could do is, give our perspective and be honest. And that's all we could do. So if the other person isn't trying to meet you halfway, or at least understand the fact that there's 30 different point of views,
right,
and at least say, okay, maybe like it's almost like when you argue politics with somebody and they're Republican and they think all Republicans are beautiful people. And it's like, if you can't admit that some of them are full of shit too, then you're delusional.
right.
Like, and I just think in any type of argument, any type of communication, if you can't acknowledge that there are 30,000 perspectives and you guys need to figure out where you are, then I just think they're wrong. I'll point the finger at them.
Shout out to Jamel from Jamel's Brick, said therapy was the best decision he made last year. So
Jamel's black, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think I went to your Instagram and I think I saw that, but I keep hearing I saw the name just now, and I was like, that's a Latin name, maybe.
There are Afro Latinos. See, this is why a movie like Encanto is very, very important.
I gotta go learn.
Yes, you gotta go learn. We gotta go. I had this conversation the other day with a friend of mine who is Puerto Rican and Dominican, and she presents as a African Afro Latino woman, and somebody said like, "Oh, you look Mexican" or something like that. She was like, "I can't look Mexican. I can't pass for Mexican." I'm like, "Actually, you can.
Yeah.
There are Black Mexican people.
Right.
There's actually a large community of Black Mexican people. So even within the Latino community, it's very segregated in that sense."
Right.
And I think
my first cousin's named Carlos.
Well,
I didn't grow up thinking it was weird, but Anna was like, "Your cousin's name is Carlos." And I was like, "Yeah, what do you mean?"
But so shout out to the Afro Latino community. It is very strong and very out here. But they don't get the shine that they need to get.
Let me check these comments. When have you looked at comments?
But yeah.
I think it may depend on which link you clicked. Because it did say the live expired on one of the other ones.
What? It's on mine. I'm
right.
Still live.
I think I did the event, and I think the event one may have expired. So if you click that link, because Anna actually texted me and said it stopped, but this one has still been going. So
which one's that one? Yours?
Yeah, so it's actually the link on our page. Anyway, it's too late to tell you that. So just in case, if you're watching this,
we love y'all. Shout out to Anna. I haven't shouted her out in a while.
Right. Shout out my boo-boo face.
Shout out to Anna. Shout out to my parents.
I don't really like her at the moment, but you know what I'm saying? I love her. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work it out. We figuring it out. But I'm gonna actually put my camera on our Legos, and I'm gonna let you send us out because
Yes,
it's about that
it's
time. But
about
thank you guys.
that
Anything we missed?
time.
We've been missing so much. Thank you to all the the military out there, Chris and
Thank you.
everybody for your
Sorry.
service. We missed the military day. What was the day? We missed all of that. The Veterans
the
Day.
Memorial.
Yeah, I think it was Veterans Day. Look, see, we don't
Veterans
even
Day.
know what we missed.
Mrs. Pitts,
Right.
Miss Pitts,
Yeah,
Miss
Mrs. Pitts.
Linda, Mrs. Pitts said her grandson is black and Latino.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, right. So, well, he's black in El Salvador. He's Savi, but
Yes,
same
he's
thing.
Latino.
Same.
He is
Yeah,
Latino,
but
and
it's-
he's black.
Right, but his last name ain't Mejia, so you know what I mean. I'm just saying, I'm
But
not
if
confusing.
if your last name was what is
Well, I
Anna's
guess-
last name?
It's Gonzalez. I
Okay.
almost think that because she has two, and we
What
don't
if-
we don't represent one of them.
What if Gonzalez? If your last name was Gonzalez, his name would be Gonzalez.
Right. I
So-
guess. Anyway, I'm confused. I don't know what we talk about no more. But it's just the last name, and I just realized I don't really know him, and I was like, I think I saw a picture, so that's why the
Yes,
Mejia thing
he
threw
is
me.
a
But anyway,
black man.
thank you guys. To all of the happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Happy
We only
Halloween.
have a couple more episodes. Well, go do the thing. Put it on.
Okay,
there
I'm
so
gonna go
we
do
can
the
talk.
thing. Go like.
Shout
see y'all
out to
next
the
week.
Pitts family. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to all of JD's friends. I feel like I know y'all, even though I don't know y'all. Same with my people too. Careful with the light. Don't get in the light. Okay, cool. But yeah, shout out to everybody. I hope y'all had a great time with your families. We have a couple more episodes left. Are you in my shot? No, you almost in my shot. Shout out, we have a couple more episodes left in season 3 in our first year at If You Know the show with JD and Kai. It has been quite a journey, and shout out to us for being consistent and being committed to our shows. You said 100 shows
With
with nobody watching,
Well, we
but
got some people watching.
we have not had one show where nobody has watched. So shout out to you guys for tuning in with us and going. I hope he's not in my shot.
I may
I
be.
think you might be. Shout out to you guys for going on this journey with us. Thank you for supporting us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us right now, and you've been here with us for the hour. You've been here with us for a couple 20-something hours
Right.
that we've had these shows. So we really, really, really appreciate your support. It does not go unnoticed, each and every one of you. Thank you for those who have donated to our Venmo. We are putting all of that money back into the show and putting it into making this experience not only better and enjoyable for us, but for you too. So please hit us up if you have any show suggestions, if you have any topics you want to talk about, guests you think we should talk about, or small businesses that you think we should check out. Please hit us up, email us, iykyk@gmail.com.
Did it.
Yeah, I did it. And our Venmo is at @iykyk_the show, right?
What is that?
I think
What
so.
is that? What was remember the stuff you would put on for lubricant? KY jelly.
KY
Every
jelly.
time you're saying that, I think of
YK.
I'm like,
YK.
that was like a joke
KY.
when we were kids. Like,
Yeah.
you got the KY jelly.
Oh my gosh. Well, yes. Thank you guys for your support. Love y'all. And we're going to leave y'all with Jamel's bricks. Let's see our. Oh, you have to press it.
I thought you was
He has to press it.
Jamel bricks, get your bricks.
Get your
Get your
bricks. We
bricks.
have Jamel's
Like Unique would say, get your bricks. Get
At
your bricks. Wash your
Jamel's.
ass.
at Jamel's bricks.
Yes, thank you guys
Check
for,
him out.
for checking out. Thank you, Jamel, for my Lego. I'm
Your
gonna.
Lego fell on the floor.
Damn it! I just shook the table, didn't I?
But look at my Lego. Look at my Lego in
You
all
got
her
a whole
glory.
platform. How
You got a platform too.
What my platform?
It's right here.
Oh, it's in here.
It's right here. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Oops. Here we go.
Give it to the hand. I'm not holding out.
Look at that. Yeah, he got my little red lip. I'm wearing pink pants. Work. Go ahead, pink pants.
Bam.
I'm wearing a scarf because it's cold.
We
Yep.
might go there.
JD look like
No, wait, I was gonna say, what do I look?
I look mad. I look mad. JD
impatient.
look like he flirting with somebody.
You're
Like,
impatient.
mhm.
I know, right?
Put that next to Anna. She gonna be like, mm-hmm.
Why you look taller than me though? Why yours bigger than mine? Anyway, all right, we'll see y'all next week. Thank you guys for being here, and
Love y'all.
yeah, all of that stuff, and we'll see y'all soon. You want to hit that? All right, I'll hit this. Which one we hitting? Hit something. Do something with your life. Look, so me and my niece are sharing, like, you could do Spotify share now.
Yeah.
And she got this song called Break the D, and it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable.
Does it come up on your shuffle?
It does.
I can't hit the arrow.
So
It always messes me up.
right. While she gets the arrow, let's talk about Break That D. So Teresia, if you're listening to this, I try not to visualize you being extra aggressive. Also, that's not cool. Please, women, don't break it. That's not funny. That's not cool. That's like saying bust them ovaries. Like that don't sound pleasurable.
We should do a show with just our little
My
Legos,
Legos?
just
Look,
chilling.
ooh, does anybody know how to do stop motion movies? I know my daughter does. Maybe
Oh
we'll
my
do a
God.
stop motion.
Yeah, we gotta do a stop motion movie of just our Legos talking crap for an hour.
Sometimes you gotta click this. All right, we found the
Yeah.
button and we up out of here.
Peace. Love y'all.
Sometimes you gotta click it to make it pop up.